Euphree dealers, this is Daniel Basaldua, and I'm excited to tell you about our new product release. We started out with the City Robin. We iterated on it a number of times, and over the times we received a lot of feedback from customers and dealers alike. One of the feedback items is that a couple would go to purchase the bike, and the female would like the bike, and the man would like the bike as well, but they wanted something a little bit more aggressive with a little bit more power. And we'd lose a sale to a customer who would buy a fat tire bike. As time would have it, we would usually get a call back from that customer who purchased the fat tire bike later, and they tell us all the negatives of fat tires, like the weight, how heavy it was, how bulky it was, and that they didn't really use the bike to go off-road, and it didn't perform or handle that well. So what we started out with was, how do we make a more powerful City Robin that's gonna appeal to the male audience? And we made this semi-cafe racer looking. I asked our design team and the factory that we work with to take the City Robin, but with a little bit bigger battery and a little bit bigger motor. And to give me two options, one with curved handlebars, one with straight handlebars, a welded in rear rack, and a removable rear rack. And they came back with these two models. And this is after a little bit of design work and iterations. And I really loved the way this bike worked, but it was a little bit more like a commuter bike. And although this bike was very, very comfortable and a lot of the things that our customer wanted, they also wanted fatter tires. And we realized that we were talking to the retired mountain biker. And although they weren't planning on probably going off-road, they wanted to know that they could go off-road. Like the person who buys a Jeep Grand Cherokee and gets the 4x4, me. So we did that and took their feedback, did a lot of design work, and I'm proud to introduce to you the new Stellar Falcon e-bike that we have as the fat tire bike killer. It is the best off-road bike that you can still use as a commuter bike, and the best commuter bike that you can actually take off-road. To tell you about some of the general features, this bike clocks in at 72 pounds. So it's 10 to 15 pounds lighter weight than our competition. We have a SR Suntour X1 Boost Air fork with 110 millimeters of travel with preload and lockout. It's outfitted with Schwalbe 27.5 by 2.8 tires. And then we did our thing where we hide all our wires and conceal it. It comes on 180 millimeter rotors, ergonomic rubber locking grips, Tektro brakes, outfitted with a Shimano 8-speed 11 by 32 with a 50-tooth front chainring. You will never ever have any ghost pedal, and you'll still be able to pedal you'll have a lot of range in terms of shifting gears. It has a 15 amp hour battery. It also comes with a Shimano Altus derailleur. We have a 15 amp hour battery, and then we have a torque and cadence system. And then lastly, we utilized a Bafang 750 watt motor with a peak power of about 1200 watts. We still left our seat post suspension. This is gonna have a little bit more aggressive riding position. However, you can adjust the stem. It maintains it as a very, very comfortable e-bike. This version of the bike is a mid-step version, and it's really gonna draw our demographic down in that a younger customer would purchase this bike, someone all the way down to late 20s, early 30s. Because it is a very aggressive bike, you're able to lean forward and go off-road, do a lot of trail riding. The air front fork really, really helps, as well as the seat post suspension. But it also performs really, really well as a commuter. The tires are not loud, and they're aggressive enough to perform well on the road, but they still have a reflective strip, and they're very quiet and handle well when you're commuting with it. Lastly, it does come outfitted with a rear rack, and you can remove this and it will look like a completely different bike, but it does come outfitted with the rear rack and a fender, and it is a fully loaded package that comes with our screen, throttle, bells, and everything.